So this place holds a special meaning for us because not only is it where we met all the time as friends, it's where we both built LITT.
We'd arranged to meet Kelly Gill at a market in Baltimore. But then she said she'd bring some others too, because her story, tragically, is so common, shared by so many mothers. Substance use disorder has broken countless people here. There is no typical victim. It does not discriminate. These women's 3 sons all suffered from the disease of addiction.
I can't do anything for him, but I can certainly work to help other people.
Kelly's son, Randy, succumbed to an overdose in 2019. Her loss inspired her to set up LITT, or Love in the Trenches, which provides free advice and counselling to parents in mourning and to relatives of people seeking recovery.
People who are suffering in their addiction, their substance use disorder, carry the unbelievable burden of shame, and families carry the unbelievable burden of powerlessness. And our goal is to address both of those things.
To do this, she elicits the help of Bertucci, who leads a support group for grieving parents. What do you say to those parents, when they come for the first time?
Well, I think the biggest thing I've learned is they want their grief witnessed, because all we ever want to do really is talk about our kids.
Lisa draws on her own experience. She lost her son, Alex. He was just 24.
He loved everybody. He got along with everybody. He was one of the most compassionate people you could know.
Then there's Shawn Nocher. She'll never forget what it was like for her son, Jamie, to be in the grip of addiction, morphing him into the worst possible version of himself.
It was the worst thing I've ever gone through in my life. He called me on Valentine's Day from California, and he said, I don't want to die. And he said, I need you to come out here and just get me someplace where I'm around people who are sober. And so I got the next plane out the next day. He detoxed in a hotel by himself. We found a sober living that afternoon, and he's been clean ever since. That was Valentine's Day 10 years ago.
The recent rates are unprecedented for Baltimore, once hailed for its response to addiction. People are dying of overdoses at a level never seen before in a major American city. In the past 6 years, nearly 6,000 lives have been lost in Baltimore alone. But what's happening here is no different to what's happening across the country. An epidemic taking hold nationwide. And behind each number, behind every statistic, is a human being, a family bereaved. Baltimore's mayor, Brandon Scott, says his office is doing a great job of trying to focus on multiple epidemics at the same time. Narcan, a life-saving antidote for an opioid overdose, is widely distributed, even in schools. But Mayor Scott admits the city requires a lot more resources. On average, 3 people die a day here from overdoses. Almost all are related to the synthetic opioid fentanyl. And it's fueling a public health crisis touching almost everybody, no matter their background. On the other side of town...
Yeah, this used to be one of the largest open-air drug markets anywhere.
Reverend Derek DeWitt, in his own words, preaches hope over dope. His neighbourhood, he says, has per capita more citizens returning from prison than any other zip code in America, an area of rich history eroded by a drug epidemic.
Drug dealers started engaging us. They said, what are you doing? I said, we're walking. Why are you walking? We're walking to take our community back.
Through faith-based initiatives, this street corner is now transformed, home to a fountain, a rehab centre, a community reborn. The Reverend hosts addiction ministries in his church every week, connecting congregants with law enforcement to re-establish trust and working to end the stigma of substance use. It's a message carried all over Baltimore.
Get rid of the shame. Tell them you love them, you're proud of them. You know this is not their fault, but it is their responsibility. It's important. The shame will kill them, and the shame is isolating.
Shawn and Jamie's journey shows it's possible to come out the other side. He now lives a happy and healthy life.
He's great. He's great. His first child was born right around the 10-year anniversary of his recovery.
Not everyone who suffers will be fortunate enough to recover. There is no magic cure. But hope lies in people's commitment to care, to understand, to love. Benji Hire, Baltimore.